what should you do if you can't find your red dot in a self-defense encounter? So Carter here with Patriot Training Center. Today I'm out here on the range and I get a lot of questions about what do I do if I can't find my dot, which is okay on the range. I have a lot of ways to fix that as far as dry fire goes to make sure that your dot is actually coming up every single time. But in this context, what I'm talking about is for some crazy reason, whether it be bad conditions or anything, your dot isn't showing up in your window and you need to use your gun. What do you do about it? So a couple different ways you could look at this. Me personally, this is the reason that I run backup iron sights on my gun. What I mean by that is I have optic height sights for all of my guns that are running a red dot. That way, if my dot ever does go down or I can't see it, it gets occluded for some reason, I can go back to those iron sights. The problem is if you're always looking for your dot and you don't know what to do, if you don't find it, then that could be a problem. So I practice going back to my irons every once in a while. Obviously, most of the time I shoot with my dot like normal. I think for me personally, it's better. I shoot faster with it. It's more precise. I like using a dot a lot better. But I don't neglect having a dot on my gun and going back to my irons every once in a while just to make sure that my skills are there and train my brain if I don't have a dot in my window to go to my secondary sighting system quickly. So I'll show you what that looks like. A way you could train that is have your, if you're out with your buddies, you can give them your gun and have them turn off your dot or leave it on, and you don't look at it, put it in the holster, draw it, and you have to make the decision whether you're seeing the dot or not. That's a good exercise, but for today, I'm just gonna run it off, and I've been shooting the dot mostly, and I haven't ran irons in a while, so I'm gonna train that, and we'll see where my suppressor heights are, or where my optic height sights are hitting, and what that looks like. So there will be a little bit of delay while you perceive that you don't have irons, or you don't have your dot on anymore. You are gonna have to simulate that, but you shouldn't just sit there with a frozen look on your face while you get murdered either, so that's not ideal. So building those pre-programmed responses is, boom, it comes up, I always see my dot, I don't see my dot, okay, go back down to my irons, finish the work. So my dot is already off, so I'm just gonna draw and work on firing a couple rounds with my iron sights, which you guys that have been watching my videos, you didn't even realize that I could shoot with iron sights, because I'm always running a dot. But I'm gonna shoot with iron sights, so we'll see if I can even get on paper with these antiquated things. All right.
Stand by.
All right. So as you can see there, I had a little bit of delay because I was expecting my dot, and then I just went to my my iron sights. I still actually, so I stay target focused no matter what. So I was a little bit left on these, but still in the 7-inch circle here. I'm good with those. I did stay target focused still, so you don't have to just like switch your focus right back down to your sights. You can kind of you can see your sights and just use those as your aiming reference. You don't have to switch your focus like to the front sight. You can still shoot target focus, especially at this close distance with iron sights. Once you back up, I like to focus a little bit more on my sight, like my front sight, making sure that I get crisp alignment and all that. But you can still shoot target focus, so you don't have to change that focal plane. But you do want to practice going to that secondary system. That way you can make sure that you'll always have a sighting system that works. So if you guys decide to run optic height sights or not, you do need to practice with making sure that dot, you practice with the dot going down. Most of these new dots, as long as you're buying a reputable brand, are very, very reliable. You just need to make sure you're staying up on the maintenance on them, and they will last. The battery life is like years on these things. So they're really good, but things happen, especially if you're in a gunfight already. You already have pretty bad luck, so you don't want to be fighting with a gun that you can't actually use and you've never trained without a secondary sighting system. So if you guys want to get better at shooting, there's a link in the description below. It's a 30-day dry fire program. It's going to help you with your manipulations and your marksmanship, and it'll help you with your speed. We'll catch you guys in the next one.